What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, for me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but I think one of the most important factors to life is understanding when to take an L, when to accept that you are wrong. You see, some people out there will truly defend their points to the end of time. And a lot of people on this channel especially always complain that I always cover both sides of the story. I can never make up my mind, but I do it for a reason. There's always two sides to a story, especially in gaming, you know? There's people who enjoy the title and there's people who hate the title, and neither one of them are right and neither one of them are wrong. Gaming is meant for everyone, and I like to understand both sides because it's very important to not only, make sure everybody's happy and everybody can at least enjoy some part of my content, but at the same time, it helps me grow as a person, be able to gain more knowledge. And like I said, both sides of the story, if you completely push out one side and you only think one way, you'll never be able to see the bigger picture. And that right there is how the majority of the world works. You have to pick a side, and if you don't pick a side, you're going to be criticized by either both of them or just the other opposing side. And that right there is why on my personal channel, you will never see 100% of the people who are watching it enjoy what they're watching, because I always cover both ends. There's going to be people who love the games I'm talking crap about, and then when the next time that I talk about how good the game is, there's going to be people who hate the game that don't like to hear any positive news about it. Like I said, if you look at both sides of the picture, you will never be able to get any support off of that. But that's fine, man. That's fine with me, because I went ahead and made a video about a month ago criticizing World War III. Again, I got tons of positive support in that video, and I got tons of negative support as well, because not really everybody agreed with what I had to say about the game. I tried to be as nice about it as I possibly could, but when I first played the initial, new version of this build of World War III, I just did not like how it felt. The movement was just super weird, and the movement was already clunky enough in the initial build of the game like 2-3 years ago. But they tried to revamp it and make it more updated, but it never lost its clunky, charm, so it just feels like an awkward mix. It's clunky, while obviously as you see it, they're trying to increase the speed of it as well. It doesn't really settle too well, along with the gunplay feeling a little wonky in the other build that I played, and, performance. It was a lot of problems with the game that I played, and I just didn't enjoy my experience. Now, in that video, I actually did say I was never going to make any more content about this game. After playing that build, I was pretty much done with it. But here we are. I decided to give it a second chance, and I gotta say, I'm extremely happy that I gave it a second chance, because from what I played in this build, it's almost like everything that I complained about in the older version, that, the older revamped version, has finally been resolved. When I said the gunplay just did not feel there, didn't feel solid, feels phenomenal in this build. The movement, still extremely clunky, still extremely wrong. It needs to be completely overhauled and just reworked if they want to really keep the tack sprinting and sliding and stuff like that. It doesn't work very well. But overall, the game works great. It actually performs better than Battlefield 2042, which this game never performed good. In the past 2 to 3 years of me playing this title, I could only average like 30-40 frames on like medium to low settings. It was a really hard game to run. Even on this new build that I have here, it could barely get any frames on it. But as you're seeing here, while I'm streaming the game, keep in mind, I'm not just, off stream recording. No, I'm streaming while recording and playing the game itself on all high settings. I can average like anywhere from 80, 90, even 100 plus frames while playing this game, which is extremely good. There are 100 players in this lobby. In a indie developed game, this isn't a AAA budget, which I don't think they are indie anymore, but again, they don't have a AAA developed budget. This isn't Battlefield with millions and billions of dollars backing it up. No, this has a much smaller budget towards it, and it runs 10 times better than, like I just said, a AAA developed experience called Battlefield 2042, which only has 28 more players. Everybody's going to say, well, Battlefield 2042 has 128 players, not 100. That's 28 people. That's basically no difference. Everything about World War III is feeling fantastic right now. They completely remodeled the maps around, and I actually gave more playtime into it instead of like last time where I just cut it off because I didn't like the gameplay. I put more playtime into exploring the maps, trying them out. They remodeled all of them. They feel absolutely great. Some of them they kept really original, but then other maps like Berlin, they completely revamped to make it more infantry friendly, something that Battlefield is lacking a ton of right now. In Battlefield 2042, I have to call in a vehicle every 5 seconds, and I think that's why they added added in that, the plus or whatever system where you can call in a vehicle at your own will, because they built the maps around that stuff. All the maps are huge. There's no infantry spots. If you don't call in vehicles to transport yourself from flag to flag, you are literally going to get shot in between each flag every single time. There's no point in leaving the flag until you get a transport vehicle. But in World War III, I don't need a transport vehicle. I can run on foot wherever I want. There's close quarters engagements. There's open fields for long-range rifles. There's, building warfare. Everything that Battlefield fans are wishing for in their own game, this one right here is giving it to us better. There's more weapons. There's more customization. There's better character customization because you don't have to worry about any of the specialists. I know a lot of people hated that stuff. You can actually design your own character to your liking, even though there's not that much customization to what you can do there, but there's endless amounts of stuff that probably will be coming in the near future. And in the past build of the game that we played, it was just so much stuff that you can mess around with. So I'm sure when the game finally releases, we will see a lot more. Now, I gotta say, I don't like the direction the developers are going. I really am scared that they're just trying to make this a cash grab, because they're pointing in the direction of Battlefield 2042 way too much when it comes to the new designs that they have in this game. The thing that I loved about World War III was the original charm it had. It felt like a milsim game, like a mill shooter, something like Squad, or a tac shooter like Insurgency Sandstorm, while still having that arcadey gunplay from Battlefield. It was the most craziest mix I've ever played in my whole life, and that's what made me addicted to it. But every one of these changes that they had in this game, almost everything, is basically to copy Battlefield 2042. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because it makes me think that the developers are just trying to chase different games, chase the trends to make their game catch up and stand out, to make their game the next big thing. When in all reality, the next big thing happens because your game is unique, not because it's like Battlefield or Call of Duty. The things that blew up are because they're different. Fortnite blew up because it was massively different. PUBG blew up because, once again, massively different. Escape from Tarkov blew up because massively different. And not even everybody loves Escape from Tarkov. It's a very set group of people. But again, if you want your game to get there, to be like Escape from Tarkov, where you grow, your game to have a massive fan base without mimicking anybody else, you have to stay true to what you are. And they're branching out so far here. Now, I'm hoping these changes aren't going to overwhelm this game. They're not going to go overboard by the final release. It still feels like it has its own identity still, but it does worry me. It really does worry me that they're trying to, chase down Battlefield a little too hard here instead of trying to stand out. And also, the audio design in this game is just horrifying. They really have to go back to the drawing board on that one and completely work it from the ground up, because my God, it is horrifying in this game. Not only do sometimes your guns just don't have any sound at all, but the footstep audio, the explosion audio, the vehicle audio, it sounds pretty decent when you load up the game and you're in the main lobby and stuff like that, and you hear everything going off in the back and the helicopters flying and stuff like that. But when you go into the game, it's a completely different world. They just need to rework that just a tad bit, and I really think we'll have a solid game here. And the thing that's really going to make this game excel is the fact that it's free to play. This game was initially, like 30 or 40 bucks or something like that. Everybody like myself who purchased in, that's why we have this closed access, because the game is going to be launching on console and PC, completely free access. So to make it fair, I guess, we are the test dummies. So we got to play a little early access of what the new version of this game is going to look like. And I'm not mad about that because they deserved it. They were an indie developed team. They seemed like they were slacking a bit there. They didn't really, do anything. But finally, after all that time, we saw that they were just working overtime. They didn't do any updates to the game. They didn't do any changes to the game. They would just spend all that time cramming all the updates and changes into like years of work, and then bam, in a second they just dropped it on us in a massive update. So I think it runs great, it looks great, it plays great, sounds mediocre. The variety is all there. Character customization, weapon customization, weapons in the game in general. The map layouts are phenomenal for infantry gameplay, and also if you enjoy vehicles. And if you're infantry, you don't have to worry about tanks blowing you up 24/7 because the majority of the flags are kept indoors or in tight quarter areas where, infantry gameplay is very solid. The hit detection is there. The gunplay is still phenomenal. It feels so good in this game. That's what I came to this game for in the first place, and it's still like that till this day. It needs a little bit of work, but I think it's right on the mark. Overall, I think a lot of you guys should go ahead and pick this game up. I believe the launch date is March. Don't mark my words, but I believe it's March. Like I said, free to play, console, PC, and I don't even think Battlefield 2042 is going to be fixed by March, to be honest with you guys. So with that being said, if you want a Battlefield alternative, if you're looking for a game to relax on, kick back, even if you're on PC, I know this is, like I said, closed access for people who purchased the game before, but I do believe you can still purchase it if you want to. If you go ahead, I believe, and drop $20 or something of that sort, they will allow you into this closed beta access here. So if you do want to try this game out early, check it out on Steam. That's where you can find it out. It's called World War III. Give it a look. You might want to play it. But like I said, if you're tired of Battlefield, if you're tired of waiting, and you want a game to hold you over until Battlefield's finally fixed up, this one right here is completely free of charge. So definitely give it a check. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. But if you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams and video games that I do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you all in the next one. Peace out.